Hey everyone, welcome back to The Shadowed Path. I'm your GM, your player, Norns, and this is episode 8. If you haven't watched the other episodes, I recommend you do so. They're long, they're tedious, I learn a lot every episode, and I'm better at playing this game. It's interesting, you never think of solo role-playing as something you get better at. Like, I'm definitely learning step by step along the way. And yeah, it is more fun the more I play because I'm better at playing it, which is interesting. Just in terms of using the prompts, brainstorming ideas of what happens next, things like that. And I really like that. It means that the newer episodes are better than my old episodes. So if you're here and you haven't watched the old episodes, you might be like, I'll just start here. That's totally fine. But I encourage you to look at the first one just because the whole story is the story, right? Not just this part of it. Because we are following my character, Adir, son of Onar. He is a dwarf of Durin's folk and a messenger. Here's my character sheet. This is what it looks like. And yeah, he's on a quest right now to go see Saruman. But last time, he was trying to get across the river, not in Tharbad, but in Londadare. Over here, he was trying to get across the river here, and unfortunately for him, he saw a boat on the water of Londadare on the west side, which no one lives there, and so he played his flute to try to get their attention. And at the same exact moment, a sea monster attacked the boat that he was trying to get the attention to, and so they thought he was like summoning the monster, and they ran away or sailed away, and it was very clear that he wasn't going to get across. So he went all the way up to Tharbad, which is where we are now. He was met by guards at the gate right here, or the bridge right here, and was made to pay a fine to get into the city, or a toll, basically, as a messenger. And he was forbade to cross the river for quote unquote safety, which is frustrating to say the least. So Adir has arrived and paid the toll to get into the city, but has been told not to cross the river, but he has to cross the river. The alternative would be to go farther north and maybe all the way to the last bridge, but then that would mean also going to Rivendell and then traveling all the way this way down to the road again. It would be so many miles and so many days. It'd take near on a month or more to get there. So it's just ridiculous and not worth it. So he has to get across the river here. This is the spot. And so as he walks through the city of Tharbad, there's seagulls flying overhead. There's people lining the streets. I imagine that it's mid-morning, and it's a bustling city that seems strangely prosperous, though he gets a strange feeling about the place given the fact that he had to pay a toll to get in, and it seems to be a place of rules. And he begins, and I'm going to use a distinctive feature. It's called folklore. I was just reading it, and it turns out that I have some knowledge of places and people, and I can maybe sort of scrounge up in his memory some useful information of what he knows of this world, or not of this world, of this city. Even though he lives far away, and whatnot. So I'm gonna roll lore to see, and we'll see what I get. I got a Gandalf rune, so that's an automatic success. And I'm gonna say that he recalls what is here. Wait, here. He recalls that the Tharbad he hears is repressive and has these laws. Maybe he doesn't remember all these laws, but he remembers that they're very the guards told him about some of these, but he realizes and understands that these are not to be trifled with, that Captain Gurnow is a tyrant, not really an elected official, and he also, I think, recalls that Captain Gurnow was, before he took office, was a bandit captain, a bandit lord of sorts, and so Adir knows he must be careful and must be wary. Okay? And so the first thing he's going to do is look for a good inn to stay at. Okay, so I'm going to say to find an inn, I'm going to make... Maybe I'll actually go to... He goes to the market. He follows this up, so I see that this is like uphill. See there's stairs right here and whatnot, so this is up above. Looking down onto the water, he'll go over to the market here to see... I think I had a... Oh yeah, I had this. What is happening in Tharbad as Adir arrived? Note for next time. Surround ancient wilds. Surround ancient wilds. I mean, they're surrounded by wilds, so maybe that's the situation. Yeah. Okay. Something's starting here. He's going to go to the market, and I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna say, do I see any other dwarves here? I'm looking for dwarves. I think that's important. I need to find my people. I'll say it's middling. So 6 or greater gives me a dwarf. That's a 1. So no dwarves. I'll make an explore roll and see if he can figure out an inn. Or let's actually do a telling lore table real quick. What's going on at the market? Let's go action and focus. Action is 3-6. Evade, and then focus 1-1. Evade curse. Oh. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, I figured it out. I took some notes. So I just copied down surround ancient wilds and what is going on in the market of Tharbad. Evade curse, and a woman is gossiping. This is Adir. I think he sticks out a bit as a dwarf, one of the few that come here, but he is listening. He's keeping his head down. I think I'm gonna roll oh man, my stealth is garbage. Let's see if I can avoid. I'm gonna see if I can avoid notice. Probably not. I cannot. He gets quite a few glances and looks, and he's sitting here listening to the people, gossiping, or I imagine this market is like not only stalls and things, but also chairs and seats and places where people can eat and stuff. And he maybe gets some tea and is from a vendor and is sitting listening to people's tales and gossip, just trying to be as inconspicuous as possible, which is difficult since he's the only dwarf. And he hears a woman talking. Oh yeah, you know old Germot. He's a fisherman, and he's filled with good luck. He's been out on the sea, or on the river, and yeah, he's a fisher. He's been fishing on the river, and he's seen the monster. He's seen it multiple times. He was on the boat that was sunk not long ago. And I think this is how it connects, that there's maybe it's the same sea monster that was down in Adir, or a different one. But this woman is gossiping about a man named, what did I say? I don't remember what I named him. Garmot, who was on a boat that was sunk, and he escaped. Garmot, man, fisherman who was on a boat sunk by the river monster. He was the lone survivor. Oops. That's not right either. Okay, great. My spelling. No. This is embarrassing. Okay. And the other woman, or maybe, another person chimes in. Oh, but it wasn't he on one last week? A ship got pulled down and under. He was on that one too. And she goes, yes, I know. That's exactly why. That's why I say he's got good luck. He's evaded this thing. Not once, but twice. And another woman says, oh, but don't you know, he was even on the one last month. Yeah, 3 boats sunk with him on it, and every time he escapes. And the man with them goes, well, if he's escaping and you call that good luck, and he's been attacked 3 times, I call that more of a curse than anything. And the first woman says, oh yeah, well, if that's a curse, it seems as though he's dodging it every time. He's quite lucky that way. And just as she says that, Adir, as he's sitting, feels like a shadow darken his table from behind. He sort of twists to look up, and there are two guards there in uniform, bearing spears, and one says, Dwarf, it is the request of... Shoot. What's the man's name? It is the quest of Captain Gurnow. Yeah. Lord Gurnow, that you shall meet him. Please, come with us. So the reason that this is happening is because I rolled a stealth check, and I was thinking, if he escapes notice, maybe they don't know where he is. But I think the guards at the front, since I didn't find any other dwarves in the market, I think the guards at the front would have relayed a message to Gurnow in order to just keep him abreast of what's happening, that a dwarf has entered, a dwarf from the Lonely from the Lonely Mountain, and Gurnow, curious at this instance, has sent some guards to pick Adir up, and he did not succeed that stealth check, and so he's been picked up. I think Adir will look at them and say, "Yes, of course, it would be perhaps the best for me to meet your leader, for me to meet the lord of the city. I have things to discuss with him that should not wait." The guards raise their eyebrows and they go, "You should have said this. We perhaps would have escorted you directly to him from the gates. There's no need for you to come to market. Follow us." So, it's not far. The guards lead Adir to what is called the Red Palace. It was once a grand abode of the kings of Arnor, and also the regent there, basically, or the captain there, when Arnor fell. But it has long since begun to crumble. And the work that has been done to try to restore it is middling at best. Though, as Adir comes with the guards and passes through the gate to the courtyard, he notes two stern statues of men as in men, not humans, but men, male people, and gonna make a lore roll to see if he recognizes who they are. No, doesn't make it, but he assumes that they were at one point in time celebrated humans of the old northern kingdom. And he goes in to the palace. He sees that the plaster of some of the walls is breaking apart, and it's very, like, there's brick showing through. This is, if it is the place where the Lord would live, it is rather squalid in his opinion, but compared to the rest of the crumbling buildings he's seen, this is the nicest, at least the most complete building that he's encountered in his, very, very brief time here. They lead Adir into one of the halls and to a great dining hall where it is still maybe not far past 11 o'clock in the morning, that there is an old man, broad of shoulder, with a long beard and rather balding. He wears this chain, or this necklace around is gold. He wears rings. This is Captain Gurnow. The doors swing open and Adir sees him, and he's bending over or leaning over the table, eating. He's spinning an oyster in its half shell, and he... "Come, Master Dwarf, I hear that you have entered my city without permissions. Take a seat." Adir walks forward and sits a few... This is a long table. I imagine this is like a hall with this 20-person table. He sits in a seat that is a few down, and across from Gurnow, to sort of set the terms that he's not going to get too close. And says, "I knew not that I or any of my kin needed permission to enter your city, Lord Gurnow. Only that a toll was paid, as I did, on arrival, and that would ensure my entrance and exit from this place. Captain Gurnow, he looks at his fingers, he picks up his tiny fork and another oyster and starts spinning it. He cuts it. He's not shucking them, they're already in the half shell. But he spins it so that he knows it's going to come free when he slurps it, right? And some of the liquid rolls down his chin and into his beard, and he wipes it off, and he goes, Greedy, I have heard of the greed I have heard is a tendency of dwarves. Entitlement, I suppose, comes with that. You think your gold buys you entrance to my halls, and you come here to mock it and to impose upon us your will and your being and your presence. Adir shakes his head. If I had any other way and any other hope of crossing the river, then I dare say I would not be in your city at all. For it was not my choosing to come here, but rather fate that drew me. I have come long and far from where is it? I've come long and far from the southern Blue Mountains. Yeah. And I wish only to cross the river. I tried to do so in Londres, but I was thwarted by circumstance. And now I am here, seeking passage across, though I know it is forbidden. And the Captain Gurnow raises his eyebrow. You know it's forbidden, do you? Yet you still seek to cross. Unwise, perhaps, to be so honest, though I suppose it is a fault of your kin to be stout and hearted and honest as this. But yes, it is forbidden. For it is fording the river is dangerous, and there is no service across the river, and the bridge, well, is still very unwell. Adir says, honest I have been with you, Lord Gurnow, for I seek to cross the river, and perhaps in exchange I give you something of value in return. And Lord Gurnow cocks an eyebrow and says, of what use can you be to me, dwarf? I have men as strong and as fair in voice as you. I do not wish for your assistance for anything, but only for you to leave in the direction you came, or to the west, if that be your choosing, since you came from the south, but by no means can you cross the river. And this is going to be a council. So when company travels to... petition. Before the council begins, the players should all agree on what company hopes to achieve from the meeting. and possibly how to achieve it. What are they asking for? Okay, so what he's asking for, Adir is asking to cross the river. What kind of help are they hoping to get? Just a boat across. It's so simple. How do they intend to get it? Okay, he's just asking till he'll pay someone to get across the river. Is there something they are willing to give in return or to sacrifice? Okay. Adir says, though you seek not my help, but my help may be a boon to you. For I have seen the creatures that haunts your waters, and I believe I know, or at least guess, at its origin, and at least know bits and pieces of what it may be. Grant me passage across the water, and before I leave this city, I will deal with the creature that has been attacking your boats and your fishermen. Okay, and then how does this work again? I haven't done very many councils. The resistance rating of a council reflects how hard it... okay. Value of 3, 6, or 9. To make evaluation, Lord Master evaluates. Okay. I don't think this is an outrageous request. I don't even think it's a bold request. It's actually very, very reasonable. But I would say that Captain Gurnow is an unreasonable man. He's just a little shit. So, I think this is a bold request. The spokesperson presents the company. Okay, well, I think that's fine. In the sense that Adir says, as Captain Gurnow raises an eyebrow and goes, "You seem extremely well informed of the happenings in Tharbad. One might think that you have heard whispers from others about the plight of my people and my city. Would that be the case?" And Adir shakes his head. "All I have heard is what I overheard in the market. If you not want the issues of your city discussed, perhaps you should put it in law." That is pointed as fuck. Oh man. Oh, that's a pointed rebuke. I think that actually humors Captain Gurnow. He quirks a smile and he goes, Well, a strange specimen you are of dwarf, Mr. Master." And Adir says, "Master Adir, son of Onar, you can call me. But what say you to my proposal? For it is a good one, and I, as you say, I'm perhaps honest to a fault. So, all to impress, courtesy to ask for support, especially from a friend, riddle to extract information." Alright. So, I'm going to say this is a courtesy roll. Aha, I'm favored on courtesy rolls, which is cool. Alright, courtesy, here we go. I'm doing courtesy for what exactly? Sorry. The roll result sets the time limit for the council. Okay, so here we go. This is cocked. 8. Oh, I definitely succeeded. Yep. Wait, 8. Yep. Okay, I see. I did succeed. So what does that mean exactly? Introduction. the roll of success, the time limit is equal to the resistance of the council, set by the lore master, plus 1 for each Tangwar icon. So I succeeded. I didn't get any 6s, so I just have a success. That's all. So that means I have 6 tries to achieve the... I need 6 successes in 6 tries. If the skill roll is a failure, the time limit is equal to the resistance of the council. Wait, oh. And if the council ends in a failure, it ends in disaster instead. Okay. Equal. So, okay, so that's interesting. The introduction really doesn't play that big of a part in it, but this part does. So I need to make a series of rolls. I don't really know about the council. I think it's the worst part of the game, frankly. Awe, riddle, and courtesy. But how does this play out exactly? So awe, courtesy. Yeah, I'm trying to think about that. It feels weird because this is a yes or no question. Will he let Adir do it or not? Captain Gurnow goes, it is an interesting offer and one that I would be inclined. I'd be interested in how do you perceive this creature? Where does it come from? You say you know its origin. And Adir says, I saw it. I have seen it already in Londare. I believe it has come north, and it preys on anywhere that has boats, it seems. I've seen it once, and I believe I know, if not what it is, but I am prepared to fight it if it will get me across the river. So that will be a roll. Let's since this isn't really part of the canon, it's riddle, awe, and hearten, courtesy, but I'm gonna use a lore because I'm gonna say that he knows his lore can maybe impress Gurnow. That's a success. That's 2 successes. That's fantastic. Look at that. All right, so that's 2 successes in my first try. I'm going to need to write this down real quick. Here we go. Counsel with Gurnow. To try. 1. I'm just doing that to keep track. Gurnow says, Where did you see this? I saw it some weeks ago, a fortnight ago, at Londare. I watched it grab a fisherman and pull it under. Now, I believe that this thing, it is likely strong and stealthy, but perhaps it is not so not so hardy that it cannot be killed with a simple attack. Now, I propose, as it does seem to go after fishermen, those who are heavy with the nets, that perhaps it is some creature of the wild that is holds less malice towards individuals and more towards the what is it? The pilfering of the contents of the river. It's not awe, but it's maybe courtesy. No. Maybe it is awe. Let's try it. We'll say that, like, Gurnow is impressed by his reasoning and sort of like, this is good news. I failed that one, so that's a shame. So we're up to 2 here. Gurnow says, well, if it was easy to kill, I dare say one of my gods would have done it already. You think, you think that this is a thing that could be defeated quickly, but you need a boat and you need sailors to take you. How am I to assist in that? For it sounds like you need more than only to pass over the river. If you were to pass over the river, first you need to do this thing, which means you need a boat, which could be sunk, which also means you need a crew who can sail you, which also means you need fishermen who will fish if this thing is attracted to those with heavy nets. And Adir says, it is true that I need all those things, but the benefit would be that you risk not another soldier and not one of your faithful, but the dwarf, a dwarf who seeks to leave this place as quickly as possible. I do not think you know the strength of our people or the rightness of our cause. I must get across the river. Now this is definitely awe. Oh, fuck. Dang, another failure. Oh dear, this isn't going well. This is bad. Do not lecture me about the greatness of people, dwarf. I have been up and down the Greenway, up and down these roads for more years than you know. Oh, how old is... I wonder how old Adir is. Did I have his age somewhere? And despite your people's long life, it cannot substitute for the fierceness of my kin and the way we live. Oh geez. Interesting. Adir says, I cannot know the way you live, nor your reasoning for not accepting help when help is given. I cannot, in good conscience, say that I will not try to get across, but I am doing you this courtesy in trying to help you. If I should die in the attempt, it is no grief on you. You have no harm done to yours, only I will be gone. So, take what courtesy is given. Order a sailor and a fisherman to take me out upon the water, and let me see what I may do. I use the word courtesy, so I'm going to roll courtesy. 9. Okay, I got another success. So I've got 3 and 4 now. But I'm still behind. I need 6 successes, so I need at least 2 successes in the next or 1 or 2. Okay. And then let's see. Gurnow, he thinks on this and he goes, "This is what I say. I can offer you no such. I can offer up none of my people for your heroic antics, so that you may cavort around saying that you and you alone saved Tharbad from its plight." Adir shakes his head. "I wish not that at all. If anything, I wish to leave this place, and if you will permit me my crossing of the river before, rather than this help, or if you will permit my crossing of the river, and I help not, I am all for it. It seems like we have two sure. It seems we have a common interest. You want me gone. I want to be gone. You have a problem with this monster in your river. I am offering to care for it. I know. Oh, yeah, okay. I'm going to use Lordly and be inspired for my next roll and use a hope die, because I get 2 extra then. That's a lot. Just one of these. He says, "I know that I can do this. My people are strong and steady, and if I do, and you are seen as the one who hired me, this is your victory as well as mine. And all I seek is a crossing of the river." Here we go. Alright, I got 1 more success, but I really needed 2. So I'm up to 4 and up to 5 tries. Oh, that's a shame. I offer you my service. If you have a better idea, a better way that I might prove my worth to you, I am willing to hear it. All I ask is for a river crossing so that I may be on my way. Name your price. Courtesy. Oh, man, that's rough. I succeeded, but I didn't get 2 successes. I only got 1. So I actually failed the test. So he was not able to convince Gurnow to let him try to kill this monster, which is interesting. But also it hints at pride, doesn't it? It hints at a pride that Gurnow has. And I think Gurnow scoffs at him and says, "Ha! I believe not of your faith in this, and I will not ask my people to go onto the river to be slaughtered by this monster with your protection or no, such as it is." Adir hangs his head and says, "Very well. I hear your ruling, and I will not trouble you further now. If you care to have more words with me, that is fine." The Gurnow looks at him and he goes, well, I perhaps have one request. And I'm going to roll on the telling table or lore table. Yeah. Wait, telling table, ill fortune, oh no. Lore table. Action focus. He wants me to do something. Okay, so white will be action, black will be focus. So the white is a 10 and a 3. So 10, 3, trick. And then 2, 1, trick, darkness. Trick, darkness. Adir says, you have a request from me, after you will not grant mine. I see. Trick, darkness. Trick, darkness. Trick in the darkness. Trick in the darkness. If I put trick in the darkness, all of a sudden it begins to make sense. Gurnow says, there has been a rash of unfortunate happenings in Tharbad. I wish it not to continue. Since you have entered my city without permission, I ask you this. There is a trickster at work within my walls, a shadow of sorts, who goes about by darkness and makes fool of my guards, thieves from my coffers, and I cannot catch them. Quiet they are as mice in the dark. Now, oh, I already know what's going on here. This is great. Okay, so Gurnow asks Adir to investigate a thief in the night, sort of like Robin Hood. And Adir says, you expect me to hunt down this thief in the night, and then will you help me cross the river? Gurnow says, no, that time has passed. If you want to leave this city in any way, you must do this thing for me. Either you find the thief, or you stay here. You said you wanted to leave. You wanted to leave quickly. Well, if your time is of the essence, you will do as I say. Find this thief, bring him to justice, and then you may leave, west or south or north, but you are not crossing the river. That's the end. That is really frustrating. Gurnow will not let Adir leave the city until he finds this thief, and he can't cross the river in any circumstance. Okay. All right. that is going to be the end of this episode. I know it was a lot of me sort of humming and hawing. I feel like I got there, but councils are the hardest thing to roleplay by yourself. It's a bummer. So, but it's fine. It was good. I still enjoyed playing, but it didn't feel as immersive and flowing as some of my others, and that's okay. Not all of them are going to be like these really well sort of like aha moments, and this one wasn't, but I like this. The trick darkness made me think a trick in the darkness meant this someone is stealing, is sort of undermining Gurnow's authority, and that's a lot of fun. So, but shoot, if Adir needs to get to Saruman, that is his mission, and he is wasting time getting sidetracked. Not sidetracked, he's just like having all these horrible things happen, and who knows what's going on back at the mine. So, it's all good. Whatever. All right. Thank you for joining, everybody. I really appreciate it. Here are my plugs. If you want to support me, you can play D&D with me or The One Ring. I run games on startplaying.games and would love to start the One Ring campaign. I think that would be a ton of fun. I know the Moria campaign book is coming out soon. Really, really wanting to run that and would really enjoy that. If you're interested, let me know. You can just post a comment here, or you can find me on Coffee. There's a link in the description. If you're interested in this VTT and play Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, I highly recommend it. This is my favorite VTT. I'm just using it for maps, basically, for this campaign, but it is, in my opinion, it's just the best VTT for Dungeons & Dragons. It's called Shard Tabletop. And support Free League publisher, or Free League, the game publisher. They make The One Ring, as well as a ton of other games. I play Monday mornings, early in the morning before my wife wakes up. I play a game called Forbidden Lands online. I had my first session last Saturday, and it was super fun. I've played it before, but only as a GM, and now I'm actually a player. And it's a really fun game. I really enjoy it. So yeah, I'm excited about those things. So please take a look in the description below to check those links out. And until next time, I'll see you in Middle Earth.